Oh well, that's okay.
You just influencers. Welcome everyone to this type of vlog that we call the AMA, and this time with Manu Martín, or Manuel. Manuel.
Manu.
Manu.
Everybody call me Manu.
He's with me in Helsingborg for a couple of days. We asked you to ask questions for us to answer, and I will give it 12 minutes. We will do as many questions as possible.
Okay, and I will answer as many questions as possible.
So let's see. So I start the watch from now.
Okay.
12 questions, and you haven't seen them. And
No, I promise.
But I start with a quite easy one.
Okay.
How much do people talk about the development of paddle in Sweden, in Spain?
They're not talking about the level of the players. They're talking about the amount of money you're increasing. Maybe they're talking about the business, about the Swedish business, and they're really interested on it because in Spain we feel like a little bit like if paddle was ours. It's not ours, but we feel like okay, paddle is our sport, and then Spanish people is really interested in how is paddle growing up in Sweden and how many courts and how are they playing. So I think that they're interested on how big is the Swedish market.
The development of paddle, but about the development of the sport paddle is less of an interest.
Yeah, but because they don't see professional players yet. I can see them because they're playing the previous draw, but they don't see them. So,
and then now more and more guys, they go here. You were here like 3 or 4 years ago, but now we can see that actually also Spanish players, top names, they choose to have parts of their pre-season in Sweden. What happens? How do people start to talk about this in Spain?
Yeah, because in Spain, sorry, just because in Spain they know that there are great clubs here. The facilities are impressive for us. This is Disneyland for me. And now there are good coaches here. There are good players here, living and training. So it's a good option because you can come here and train with coaches like you, and you can find that people to train against as sparring. So it's a good option. You can stay in Spain. It's so cold. Or you can come here training in these facilities.
They are amazing.
They're impressive, and I think that's the reason why many of these professional players are coming here.
And we are very grateful about that. Okay, let's see. From Hannah, that will be on court soon with us. What's the difficulties with training professional players?
Well, there are many difficulties because every player who is working with a coach, every player know that you have to improve, and sometimes there are tough moments when you're like not improving, or you feel depressed because you're not with the result that you were expecting. And the problem here is that the professional player is all the time thinking about paddle 24 hours, 24/7. So, there are many points that you have to be struggling. But I think that for me, I'm happy anyway. Although you are going to find a lot of problems, and at these points there are many. I don't know where to begin. It's about the money. It's about the how long do you have to train, or how many times do you have to train, or about the travels, or about the clinics and everything. There are a lot of things, but for me, I'm happy with everything.
Because what I feel and what I see is that, first of all, I'm grateful. I'm really happy. I develop a lot, not only with paddle, also as leader, coach, person, because I really need to understand another person from the inside and out. So many different dimensions. If I should point out a few things that I think is a difficulty, is that if I am with a social group, padel is fun. It's the best hour in the week, or it's the hour that you've always been looking forward to. It's not really the same with the professional players. They can come in with disappointments from tournaments. We push them where it hurts, you know, when you train on practice on things that you're not good at. And the hours can be a bit painful sometimes for both. And for me, it's more how to deal with it, but it's a difficulty. I don't see it that it's a problem, but it's a difficulty, and it's a big difference for me from training juniors and amateurs and the social players.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
I agree with you. You have to be... Sorry, it's Kalle.
Yeah, I had a call from Kalle as well.
Kalle, estamos en la cafetería, ¿vale? Que te tengo que colgar. Ahora seguimos hablando, porfa. Yeah, I think that it's a difficulty, but well, as I said, this is for professional player. This is a work, and this is her life or his life, and they're putting all his investment into this. So they're all the time thinking about this, and obviously the trainings are different than the amateurs training, because we are just touching where it hurts.
Yeah, and then also the better player you have, the more effort to move a little step, to improve a little and change what you can see is a small thing. It takes a long time.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. It's about the time. It's not the same working with 18 years old player that with sometimes I have to work with people 35 or 37 years old, and it's difficult because this person, this athlete has been working with 8, 10 coaches. So you're the last one, and now you have to make him or make her improve, and working against a lot of things that they have been working. So it's difficult, but depends many times on the athlete and the age and the level.
How come that so many female teams now change partners? If I should try to answer this question quite quick, this time the changes started on the top, and then you can see that it goes more or less all the way down, because everyone see the opportunity to play with someone that they believe they will play better with. So, and now we have seen it both at the same time for women and for men in World Padel Tour, so that's why we feel that it's a lot of changes. But
yeah, that's one reason it began from the very top. And the second reason is that well, it's about the development of padel. It happened the same with the males. Now you can find different female players who are performing a lot. So you can switch between maybe 10 or 12 players, and you can switch and you can keep fighting for the number one. Maybe 5 years ago there were only 8 players, female players, who were really looking forward to be the number one, because then from the 10 to the 15 the level was really low. And it happened the same with the males. The males 10 years ago there were 8 couples, very good couples,
static.
but from the 8 to the 9 the step was it was really high. So nobody from the inside of the 8 first couples they were going to take another player from outside of the 8 first couples. So that was the reason. That's the reason, in my opinion, why now you can see in the males, you can see that they are switching all the time, because you can choose another one, a young one people or player, and you can be fighting for the top 8. And now the females are doing the same. There's 2 couples that they broke, and it wasn't supposed, like Patty and Nelly and Gemma and Lucia, and now there's another option. It's like the twins. If the twins, Mapi and Majo, they weren't playing together, there will be even more changes.
Yeah.
So I think it's about the level of the players. Now there are more female good players, then you can choose between more players. So I think I expect to be watching more changes during 2021.
All right, good. So not all the players in Spain and Argentina had the possibility to follow the World Padel Tour.
Yeah.
So how many players that can play on, let's say, a pre-previa or previa level are there that are not competing on the World Padel Tour?
Yeah, for sure there are many players, good players, and they're not competing on the World Padel Tour. That's one of the reasons why International Padel Federation began to or created this kind of tournaments, tour all over the world, in order to find this kind of players. Chingoto and Tello, they came from there. That's the same with Tapia. Elias Estrella was a player from South America, and there are many players from there, good players. But well, now we know about the paddle development. It's mostly playing all the time in Spain, some in Europe, like Italy, Sweden, and everything out of the COVID. So I think that our sport needs to grow up and to go to South America and Central America, and I think that there are many players who are going to jump into World Padel Tour, and the level is going to increase.
But right now, because there is a circuit in Andalusia, you have in the Valencia region, Valenciana. You have Madrid, you have the other areas, and I know that they're good players on the circuits, but they are not on the World Padel Tour. So can we say that on top of what we have seen on the World Padel Tour, you have another 300-400 players that could easily play the pre-previa?
Yeah, but the truth, they can play, but they cannot win.
No.
So that's the reason why they are not playing the World Padel Tour, because they cannot win. They play really good, but they are losing all the time. So maybe,
and even if they win 2 matches, it's still
like losing.
It's still nothing in.
No. So I have players in Madrid. I'm training good players. One of them even is top 10 in Madrid. He plays a lot, but he has no money to invest in traveling with the World Padel Tour to play previas, because he's not earning money. So he decided to be one of the best players in the region.
Yeah.
But well, he plays there, he has his sponsors because he's a great player, and I'm pretty sure that he will be almost playing main draw if he was able to go with the World Padel Tour and go to every tournament. But he has not the money, he has a family, but I'm really confident about his possibility. And as this case, you can find in South America, in Mexico, in Argentina, and everything.
Yeah, I've seen the national teams of Paraguay and the juniors in Paraguay. Players. They won Argentina.
Yeah.
So it's good. But to give a number, if it's 200 or 300 players that we haven't seen that can play on the pre-previa level, I don't know, but something like that. Not less. I'm sure.
No, for sure, they can play. Yeah.
And with the female, a little bit less, but...
Yeah, because the female level is now increasing, is growing up, but I think that maybe in 2 or 3 years it will be the same.
Yeah.
So maybe the females level is growing up after the males, but will be good. 200, 300 new players, it would be amazing.
Let's see. I have to be careful because it has to be a quite short answer. We are running out of time. They want to know so much about exercises on court and stuff, but let's keep that for when we are on court together. It's easier, I promise. Okay, let's go with the last one. 3 things to think of if you are a tennis player on a paddle court, new to the sport.
Well, first thing that you think to realize is that the court is really small, and so as the court is small, all the backswings and all the movement are shorter, and this is important because when the tennis players move into the paddle court, begin to do the same backswings and spins and everything. So
that was one.
Short backswing, use slice, and realize that you can pass from attacking to defending in one single shot. This is very difficult in tennis, but in padel happens all the time. For example, you can use power smash, and if you don't win the point in this ball, then you will be defending for the next one. This is difficult in tennis. It doesn't happen in tennis so frequently, but in padel it happens. So you have to think about the attacking and defending concept mostly that in tennis. So shorter backswings, use side spin all the time, and be careful about the attacking and defending concept, because it's a little bit different than in tennis.
I put in one more. What I feel with tennis players is that they are searching for winners, but padel is so much more about building up the point. And in tennis, it's like equal to if you can play really, really hard, you make it good. But in padel, it can be different. To play soft can actually be a real headache for the other guy. So.
Because you won't be passing from attacking to defending. You will be attacking and you will keep attacking all the time. So the key is to be attacking all the time, or try to keep attacking. Otherwise you will be attacking, but suddenly you were defending and you were saying, wow, because my smash rebounds a lot, then I attack with my smash, but then I am defending my own smash. So that's the key.
That was actually 16 minutes. So we stopped there. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for all the questions that you sent through Instagram to this short vlog. And it's time for us to go on court with the next group. So see you later.
Thank you, everybody.